Every year Japan ranks its 47 prefectures by popularity. But every year one prefecture has to come last. For years that place has been Ibaraki. So naturally, I moved there. This is not the Japan most tourists fly across the world for. No Kyoto temples, no Shibuya crossing, no Mount Fuji postcard view. And if you ask most people what there is to do, most of them will probably say, not much. But after visiting over 20 prefectures and now living in the so-called least popular one, I started noticing something. The parts of travel that stay with you aren't usually the famous ones. They are the random ones. They are the quiet ones. The slightly weird ones. So is Ibaraki actually boring, or is everyone looking for the wrong Japan? Fanta jelly? I thought it's a normal Fanta. You wanna try?
Mushi?
No. Before I came to Japan for the first time of my life, and when my wife told me she is from Ibaraki Prefecture, I had no idea where this is, and I didn't even really know how to pronounce it. I guess the German pronunciation would be Ibaraki. But then when coming, I learned that Ibaraki is northeast of Tokyo, not too far away, and it has borders with the prefecture Saitama, Tochigi, in the north with Fukushima, and in the south with Chiba. The winters are not too cold, it doesn't really snow around here, even though we are in the northern part of Ibaraki, but the summers are pretty hot. So Ibaraki doesn't have a tourist energy. And throughout the video you will learn that this is actually one of its greatest assets. If I would be landing in Ibaraki and I would have only one day, would I know what to do? And my answer is absolutely yes. Even if friends would come and visit me, which they don't, I would probably have many great places to go to. One thing though is that the prefecture is pretty big, and in general I realized in Japan, the more plans you have in a day, the less you can actually enjoy them. So I would just pick one or maybe two things that I would actually want to do, and then maybe one or two things that I would want to eat, and I would just focus on them. As we tourists, we always want to know in advance what we can do before we actually go there. But I think Ibaraki is more about really discovering. You might find things on Google and people are of course writing about it. It's 2026, but it's not like going to Kyoto or Osaka where thousands of tourists are going every day. So I would say it's a bit more adventurous to go to Ibaraki, which is a good point. A thing that might scare some tourists is also that the travel choices are not as convenient as going around in Tokyo City or in more populated areas, I would say. You can reach most of the cities by train and of course also by bus, but if you really want to go deep into the countryside and see the even more unique places of Ibaraki, you just have to rent a car. And it's definitely worth it, because then you can make your own choices. You can rent it for a week, you can go to the exact places you want, you will find better hotels, more unique temples, and you will get more closer in contact with locals. Considering the travel opportunities, I realized that Ibaraki is actually hiding the good stuff. So I tried to answer the tourist question. If someone visits Ibaraki, where would he actually go? One of my favorite places in Ibaraki, and I don't think that many foreigners know that place, is Oiwa Jinja. It's an amazing shrine, and when I came to Japan the first time in my life, only after a few days after arriving, we visited, and to be honest, now after years and seeing like hundreds of different shrines, it's still my favorite shrine. So I highly recommend people to go there. The energy is very unique, and the story is, which is kind of crazy, I don't know if it's really true, but from some Russian satellite, they have seen that a beam of light was coming from exactly that place. So I guess there must be some very unique energy over there, and you can feel it when you walk through the forest there, and it's a very special place, I think. So this tree is more than 500 years old. Pretty amazing, no? business goes well. Another very different place would be the coast of Ibaraki, and on a beautiful sunny day you can go to Oarai. You have some beaches, you have some people surfing around there. You're not far away from Hitachi or even Mito, is only a 30-minute drive. And the vibe is very easygoing surfer, like you have lots of fishermen there. So you will get like very fresh and nice fish there. Like cities in Japan, I feel like are very similar. Like these mid-sized cities don't really change that much. But everyone around the world knows a name, which is Hitachi. They're producing excavators and all kinds of heavy machinery for construction sites all over the world. There's a beautiful station where there's a piano, I remember, where you can play for free. There's a nice cafe in the station where you have a beautiful view on the ocean. Besides many different onsens and small restaurants.
Not so much.
Kasama.
Oh.
It's very famous for its pottery. And there's a pottery center where you can do courses and where you can buy really, really nice handmade pottery. And I think that's a very, very nice place to go to. It's very relaxed. It's a very relaxed vibe. These places might be nice to visit, but they are definitely not the reason why we actually moved here. Visiting Ibaraki or Japan and living here are two completely different things. Right?
本当にそう。
今日は5月22日金曜日です。
本当?
So once we got into a rhythm of living here in rural Japan and we finally found our home, we started routines. And I realized that people living around here recognized me more. So there's actually a neighbor living around here, and in the beginning I thought she cannot really connect to me, or we just didn't have so much like connecting points. But when I'm outside and the weather is good and I'm doing something, when she passes, we actually became pretty good friends. Like we casually talk. My Japanese is not fluent at all, but I can say words and we can communicate, and it's really a nice experience. It seems like she's enjoying these conversations as much as I do. So last time we were planting a few things and Yukari went back into the house. She was busy doing something else. And I kept planting those things, and she asked, what are these plants? Because we bought some like unique stuff that normally people here maybe don't really eat. And she was laughing a lot. She's very positive always. And then she always says like, yeah, you should try it. You should give your best. And she just sometimes comes and stands next to us, just watching us doing something. It's really a nice feeling. Becoming part of the community here is very beautiful experience. I know that I look different, and I know that I'm not born here, and that Japan is a very unique country. Also very careful with letting in other foreigners and opening their borders. It's not like my hometown, where I grew up with like more than 50% of foreigners in my class, and all my best friends are basically not German. But I really feel accepted and appreciated to live here in the countryside.
本当にそうだと思う。
これは世界だっぺ？
世界。はい。これは世界。
So the relationships we made also brought lots of opportunities. We've been getting this free field just like a few meters from the house, and we could have only wished for something like this happening, and it naturally happened. So we will have enough potatoes probably for the rest of the year.
はい。いっぺんには食えめから取るだけ取ってっていい。いいね。いや、絶対美味しいこれ。
So suddenly the whole idea of which prefecture did not matter at all anymore. It was more about like, who are the people living around you? Because through the neighbors and through the local produce and the food we eat, we basically become who we are, right? I wanted to be a peaceful and healthy person. And this is what this place exactly gives me. In the beginning of coming to Japan, food was something I wanted to try. I wanted to try all different kinds of food. Ramen, soba, sushi. And even if I was not really keen to eat some of the things, I still tried them. And most of the things I really enjoyed eating. Some other things took me a while. to really appreciate, and other things I just don't like. And I think that's normal for everyone.
Don't like ってある You don't like
There's not really much.
そうだよね
Yeah, like 99% I like, actually. Natto, for example, is a perfect example. When I came to Japan for the first time, I didn't like it at all. Just the smell of it. I couldn't really smell it, to be honest. It reminded me of feet. Still not really pro, but I tried it a second time and I still didn't really like it, but I guess I was more fine with it. And then actually eating it the third time, I started enjoying it. It's very weird. I didn't expect it's going to happen. But now we eat natto 2 or 3 times a week. The food that Japanese people eat is generally still very connected to the seasons, especially in the countryside, I think. Like, we've been going to the mountains to pick sansai, which is mountain herbs, and this was a certain time, so like 3-4 weeks, when we ate these things, and they were full of vitamin C, and they were like healthy, and you could like really feel the freshness of the forest when eating them. And this time is over now. Now it's time for beans. It's time for... So this is takenoko, which is a bamboo shoot. And actually there are many different types of bamboo shoots, I learned yesterday. But this is the one that Yukari's father actually picked. Very delicious. After living here for a while, I realized that I wanted to protect the tourist inside me. Because that's a feeling that I really enjoyed. I very well remember the time of coming to Japan the first time, the nostalgic feeling of seeing a temple, feeling the vibe, or going to a local restaurant. So a few days ago we just visited a new onsen where we have never been to before. And I really felt that there's so many opportunities to still discover new places and meet new people. So I used to think that the goal was to stop being a tourist, but I realized that the trick is to actually be a little bit a tourist. So one idea that I had in my mind was being a tourist keeps the excitement, but being a local gives the things meaning. And I think you can actually combine these things. So it was never about the prefecture, the country, or the state in general. It was always about how can I change myself to look at it from a different perspective. So after all, do I think Ibaraki is boring? Ibaraki is very boring if you want it to perform, but very nice if you just let it be.